So far this year, I have spent $63,000 rebuilding crash damaged cars like this one and this one. And today I wanted to dig into those numbers because I guarantee you I haven't made anywhere near as much as you think I might have. And we're also going to be going over all my YouTube revenue. If you're new here, my name's Jeremy Rowe and I've been rebuilding crash damaged cars on YouTube in Australia since the 24th of November in 2024. Rebuilding crash damaged cars is definitely not a cheap thing to do. And honestly, it's only been today when thinking about what I was gonna make this video on that I actually put that number into perspective of what I've spent in the last year and a bit on crash damaged cars, and $63,000 is a lot. And we're gonna get into the weeds about how much money I've made back, and there are two parts to it. One is, the actual cars and what I put into them and what I sell them for, and the second part is the YouTube revenue. Even though I'm a small creator, I only got 3,500 subscribers. I do get a paycheck every now and then that tops me up a little bit, but I promise you none of this is gonna be the profit you expect from that huge number I've invested. The only sort of caveat to this is I don't have anywhere near that amount of money. So pretty much this is revenue from building it up, selling my actual daily personal cars to have a cash pool to buy and sell crash damaged cars. And the second thing is this car that I'm driving now is my partner's car, and she solely purchased this car and all of the parts for this car. It still worked out quite cheap for her compared to, buying a non-crash damaged car, but obviously, buying a crash damaged car and having somebody else fix it for you, there's a great deal of trust that goes into that. So this car that I'm driving now, the purple MX-5, is included in that total. So 10 years ago, I remember the very first crash damage rebuild that I saw on YouTube was BS for Build's Lotus Evora. Long time ago, and I'm pretty sure he was the first person to do these rebuilds on YouTube. Ever since then, I was hooked. He was my favorite YouTuber. And every single chance that I got to have lunch at work or whatever, and he'd uploaded a new video, I was there at lunch watching his 40-minute upload. I think he really started to take off when he did his GTR rebuild. Again, I'm pretty sure that was the first GTR rebuild I've seen anyone do on YouTube, at all. And over the years, I've had plenty of cars, but I was never really a doer. I feel like I didn't get too much done. So when I moved from Melbourne to the Gold Coast, I thought, you know what? This is the year I'm actually gonna give this a go. I'd always wanted to try and do a crash damage rebuild specifically for YouTube. Made a bit of a promise to myself that I was gonna buy a crash damage car. I loaned some money to do it, and I bought my very first one. That was the Audi S3 that you may or may not have seen me rebuild. Then came this car, my partner's car, the MX-5, and then I bought a Range Rover, which was probably a bit of a mistake, but I'll tell you about that one soon. Let's get home first and I'll talk about the numbers. Welcome to the office. This is where I edit most videos and store this Rocket Bunny kit for the MX-5 that I've yet to install. So, before we get into this, I should probably preface that the sole reason I do this is because I want to make a community here on YouTube where, I just find people like me that like the same thing, that love rebuilding cars, and I guess like YouTube. Let's get into the numbers. All right, so this is a spreadsheet that I've been using to track what I pay for the cars and how much it costs me to rebuild them, every single part that I bought that then adds up. So down the bottom here, you'll see Audi S3, MX-5, hidden car because I haven't actually released this car yet. It's not actually here, but I have paid for it. And the Range Rover Sport. So straight away here, you can see the total for the Audi S3 was $27,839. I then sold the car for $31,000 and made roughly $3,000 in profit. That was good, but honestly not as good as it could have been. There were definitely some areas that I probably could have saved a bit more money had I known then what I know now about the process. I very much bought this car as one, a bit of a test dummy, and two, I did plan to keep it. It was a really nice car. It's hard for me to get rid of, and yeah, this also would have been about $675 cheaper because the water pump decided to shit itself right before I sold it. I did it myself. $675 was pretty pretty reasonable. If you get it done at a dealership, they'll charge you $1,500, $1,600, so not too bad. On the car I was just driving, you can see the price of the car was only $7,000, but the rest of it added up to $7,191, and we have the wide body kit that we haven't installed yet. So the total without the wide body kit, $14,231, which honestly I think is pretty good. For a non-crash damage car, you'd be paying a little bit over 20. And then yeah, with the wide body that I've got, an extra $1,200, which again is pretty good considering that if you were to import this from Japan, it'll cost you over 4,000 Australian. We just saw it on Marketplace. It was something that my partner has always wanted to do, and originally I thought about importing one off AliExpress. It's probably worthwhile to get this one because even if I import one from AliExpress, it'll cost more than this genuine Rocket Bunny kit that I've got here now. Hidden car. I've got sort of two costings here on like a high end of what I think it'll cost to rebuild and then a low end of what I think it'll cost to rebuild. For this car, it was $8,250. It has come with a lot of parts, and I did split this with my friend. So I've only paid half of this, and then the rest of this I'll only pay half for the repairs as well. But on the high end, $5,900 to repair it, and on the low end, $3,675 to repair it. For the $63,000 total, I have only included half the price of this car because that's all I've put in. Now with the Range Rover, I bought this car for $12,750 after selling my S3, which honestly, I mean, look, it's not a bad price, but for me, I had $20,000 and I put it aside and just went, look, this is for my dreams of rebuilding cars on YouTube, and then that's it. There's gonna be no more money that I'm gonna put towards it. Whatever happens on this channel is gonna be hopefully built up starting in that $20,000. So the car was $13,000, and all the parts that I have spent on it so far have almost totaled $4,000, bringing the current total to $16,635. Now I haven't sold this car yet. I have actively been waiting for a few things for this. I do have it up for sale, but it's yet to pass its written off vehicle inspection. So you need to have that done to get it back on the road. Once it passes that, it's worth a little bit more. If it doesn't pass that, it's worth a little bit less. Look, honestly, I actually regret buying this car, and if someone's gonna take it off my hands for what I'm into it for, then I am happy as, because it means I can just move on. I have a new plan of attack with how I'm gonna buy cars and things like that, but I'll talk about that in a second. We'll get onto the YouTube revenue first. So out of all of these car rebuilds, I have made money, believe it or not. I obviously haven't sold the Range Rover just yet, and I don't know what I'm gonna get, but honestly, I'm of the opinion that I'll break even on it. The MX-5, we're keeping. That money's spent. We're gonna put the Rocket Bunny kit on it. I wanna do some sort of engine mods down the line, either a turbo or rotary swap it or something. So the S3 is the only one that I have sold, and I sold it for $31,000. So in total on this one, I made $3,161. So this is my YouTube studio, and it's pretty much where you can see everything related to your channel, all the statistics and all that sort of stuff. If I sort these by date, this is my most recent video here, and then going down there are all the Range Rover videos. This is a bit of my channel trailer that, like, rebuilding cars until I get a supercar. I want to grow that $20,000 up to $100,000, and then hopefully buy like a really run down supercar that is going to get me in the door, and give me that supercar experience, but at a budget level where I can still also make content about it, because it is a lot of money and I've got nowhere near that at the moment. As we scroll down, there are a few videos like this one, for example, why your car is or isn't in your favorite video game. Now this one I uploaded in May of 2025. It got 40,000 views. Another one down here, the internet lied to you about Midnight Club, 22,000 views. And just here is my best performing car related video, and it's how F1 moves an entire sport across continents every week, and we've got 110,000 views. I have since privated all of these videos, and the main reason for that is I made these videos in my bedroom and it literally cost me $0. I already have the camera, I've got the microphone, and whatever else I need to make a video, like, I've got it here. They cost me nothing. It was research, and that was pretty much it. All of my other rebuild videos have gotten, like my last video, 680 views, 193, 132, 164, 392, 522, 218, and so on. The highest, I think, is the S3 rebuild, the full build. So after I make all of the episodes and then stitch it together as one long, hour-long episode, and just here you can see 1,272 views. So I pivoted. I privated all of my actual popular videos to try and build out my channel as just car rebuilds. That's all I want to do, and that's all the viewers that I really want to attract. I want you to lock in now how much money you reckon I've made since November 2024 just on car rebuilds, given that I have spent $63,000 on cars to rebuild. With your guesses locked in, here is my top performing videos from starting at the 24th of November 2024. I've had the YouTube account longer than that and I've posted longer than that. I have made a total of $1,316 with 662,000 views. Now that sounds good at first, but when you realize that a lot of my top performing videos, like this one, and this one, and this one, are all not about rebuilds, and ones that I've privated now. For example, this How F1 Moves an Entire Sport Across Continents Every Week was $621 by itself. So when you take out all of the videos that just aren't rebuilds, the total, $210.69. I did the math before. Really, in the past, year and a bit now, I have made a total of $3,371. And when you look at that and the sheer amount of time that I've invested into rebuilding these cars, it's really not that much. And that sort of brings me on to my next point, why I regret the Range Rover. All right, so this is my Range Rover. It's a cool car. I do like it, but there are a couple of problems that I didn't really realize when I bought it. Very first one, it doesn't really fit very well in the garage here, and I have to do all of the work in the garage. It has been manageable so far, but it's not very fun. So that's the very first thing. I realized that until I get somewhere bigger to be able to work on these things, it's not very feasible for me to get big SUVs like this. The second thing is I probably got in a little bit over my head with this car. And what I mean by that is I have been a little bit of a perfectionist about this. So you might have noticed that in the MX-5 videos in particular, like I get a lot done in each episode. And I do that on purpose so that it really feels like each video is making progress, but that causes a couple of problems. For example, if I'm waiting for taillights on this car, which was one thing that helped me up, I just felt like that the video needed the taillights in it to sort of wrap it up, or waiting for this written off vehicle inspection. You book and you have to book it 3 weeks in advance. Essentially, the problem for me has been putting so much into an episode to make it good, and then waiting 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks to upload the video just because of that. And I still want to make good videos that I like myself and that I would watch in the same way that someone watches a Matt Armstrong or a Tavares video. I also need to be realistic. This year I really want to post. I really want to do as many videos as I can that are relevant to you guys, that you want to see. So to combat that, a good thing to do would be to have 2 projects going on at once. The money tied up in this right now in the rebuild account, I've got just over $3,000. If it doesn't pass its written off vehicle inspection for whatever reason, I don't know how much it's going to cost me to fix whatever or do whatever to the car to then get it passed. It's not left me with a lot of money to go, yeah, I can just go out and buy another project. There was a BMW S1000 and a BMW S1000 RR. Now the RR, I watched the auction and it went for $6,750 including fees, which probably a bit much, not a lot of room to play with, probably only worth 10 to 12 grand. You'd probably put the money into it and break even. But that's a bike that I've always wanted to ride. I've ridden one before, but I've never owned one. And for me, that would have been a worthwhile go at it. The second one was this S1000 single R, which is like the naked version of the fairinged bike. Those sell for about 15,000. This bike had 8,000 Ks on it. It had no recorded accident history, and that was a big thing because it means the bike is worth a lot more. Still got to tell the seller that like it has been crashed and repaired, but because it doesn't have that title, it does mean that it's worth significantly more than if it did have a repairable write-off title on it. And the guy only wanted $3,000 for it. And like, I knew that that would be great content. I would very likely be able to turn a profit on that one. Even though I've put $20,000 aside to be able to do all this, it really doesn't leave me a big margin when I buy a car this expensive. And then I feel like I've been stuck and I can't get any content out. And that's why this video and the last video have been a little bit different. So we're gonna make a change, and here's what I'm gonna do moving forward. This here is the car that I'm driving, 2012. I think it's a 2012 Ford Fiesta. It's got 300,000 Ks on it. I mean, look, it's seen some better days. It's definitely in a bit of rough shape. You can see like the seals, for example, just literally crumble off. It's kind of the polar opposite to the Range Rover. But I think that there is a middle ground, somewhere between this and the Range Rover, that is cheap enough, like, I don't know, under $5,000 to buy crashed or neglected or whatever it is, and then do it up, specifically, obviously, with the intention of selling it. We're gonna be able to make bigger jumps in terms of profit doing things that way. I'm not a mechanic, I don't do this stuff like for a living or anything, so this is very much like me documenting, me learning how to do it all and then making videos about it. I think if we buy a car like this and for $5,000, whatever, if there's anything that we have to wait for, I can then go ahead and buy another $5,000 car or motorbike. I'm very keen to do a motorbike, and then be able to do two interchangeably and actually be able to keep making content on them. Hopefully that's been a good insight into exactly what I have made in the past year rebuilding cars, and a bit of an insight on what's to come. If you want to follow along, we are rebuilding cars until we get a supercar. Subscribe, like the video, comment, let me know what you think, and yeah, I'll see you next time.